I will be teaching you how to use and maintain your hot spring salt system ready hot tub. I will be going through this sheet here, which you'll be getting from your technician as well on your delivery. Top portion here is what you're doing on the drain and refills. We typically recommend about once a year on the drain and refills for your salt system. When you're draining and refilling your spa, your drain is going to be at the very bottom of the spa. Now your drains, you can always take off your cap, you can attach a regular hose to it, and you turn the Hitchcock valve to allow the water to run out. You'll let that drain completely down, and then you fill it up from your filters. One of your filters will have a gray standpipe, also a gray cap that you'll screw the cap off, put the hose directly into the standpipe, and that'll push all the air out of the plumbing line for you. If your spa is on well water, you're going to want to fill it up with a clean screen pre-filter, which will get all that iron, copper, rust, all that out of the water for you. Now also, if you are on well water, you're going to want to put in an ounce or two of freshwater staining scale, which will also just assist getting all the stuff out of the well water. Starting off, you will want to test and balance your water. You will have everything in your top portion here will have your ideal ranges for your pH, alkalinity between a 40 and a 120. pH, you'll want that between a 7.2 and a 7.8. What you'll also want to do is get rid of all the phosphates in the water. Salt systems don't like to work with any phosphates in the water. And to do so, you can add in a nanophos tablet. And anytime you put in a phosphate treatment into your water, you will want to rinse your filters really well after 2 days. You're going to set up your salt system. You want your salt between 1,500 and 2,000 parts per million. The best way to do that is on day one, add about half that's necessary. On the back of your salt bag, it'll have appropriate amounts of salt to put in per gallonages. You'll add about half in on day one, and then on day two, add an additional cup every 30 minutes and testing it periodically with either test strips or a digital test reader until you get right between that 1,500 to 2,000. You'll also want it to still give your spa an initial shock. We typically recommend about 2 ounces of granular chlorine. Calcium, they want that between 25 and 75 parts per million. So to lower that, you're going to put in a Vanishing Act calcium remover. With that calcium remover, you'll want to sit that. You want to refer to your owner's manual where to put that in your spa. You want to place it into the spa. You want to flip it over after about 12 hours and take it out after 24 hours, and it's just a single use. You can throw it away after that. Now the same standpipe that you fill it up from initially, you also want to put in what's called a freshwater silver ion stick. That's just going to be essentially a mineral cartridge that works in conjunction with your salt system. In your weekly maintenance here, you only have a few things to do weekly on the salt systems. One is you want to test and balance your water weekly, making sure pH and alkalinity is in range and functioning. Next, you also want to put in, depending on size of your spa, you want to put in 1 or 2 ounces of oxidizer to break apart all the bound up chlorine in the spa. Before any kind of heavy usage, or if your water were to become cloudy for any reason, one of the main causes of this is going to be due to lack of chlorine. Your very first step, safe way to go, is go ahead and add in 1 or 2 ounces of granular chlorine to allow that water to clear up. If it doesn't, then you could also look into pH, alkalinity, making sure those are in range. Lastly, based off of when you test your water chemistry, you'll want to adjust your output level on your salt system, which is also on your controls. Your output level is essentially you controlling how much chlorine that the salt system is producing in your spa. Your routine maintenance at the bottom, which is going to be your monthly, bi-monthly stuff like that. Your salt system cartridge, your system will actually prompt you when you need to replace that. There's 2 different ways. One is you have a logo light on the front of your spa that will flash a yellow if there is anything that needs to be done to your salt system. 2 is also, it'll just tell you right on your controls. Also, every 4 months you want to replace your freshwater silver ion stick, which goes inside of your filter compartment. Also, you'll want to, about once a month, rinse off your filters really well. If you have paper filters, you want to take the filters out, spray them off with the hose, and then you can put them right back in. If you have the ceramic Tri-X filters, you can do 2 different ways. One, you could rinse them off, Or two, you can actually put them in a dishwasher, no detergents, low heat, and just the rinse cycle. Every 2 months, so every other month, you'll want to clean your filters with the instant filter cleaner from Freshwater also. On your bottle, you have instructions for that. Essentially, all you have to do is take your filters out, spray that product on the outside of the filter, let it sit outside the spa for about 15 minutes, rinse it off really well with the hose. I wouldn't recommend putting them in the dishwasher after putting the instant filter cleaner on. Rinse it off with the hose, then put it right back into the spa. Another thing is you'll also want to wash and condition your cover regularly. We typically just say the top side of the cover. You want to maintain your water level. You essentially want that right between the top of the jets and the bottom of the pillows, as long as all your jets are fully submerged, so when you kick on your jet pump, it doesn't spray over the sides. And you'll have a product called Hot Spring Cover Shield that you can spray it directly on the top of the cover, wax it on with the paper towel, and that'll have UV protectants in it so it doesn't cause the cover to dry out and crack as quickly. Lastly, to prevent foaming as much as possible, we highly recommend trying to avoid using any lotions, getting that into the spa, any detergents on your bathing suits that may cause an excess amount of foaming. There are products to get rid of foaming while you're using the spa, but to permanently get rid of foaming, the only way is going to be drain and refill the spa.